Next in line, it's a mystery box. This is interesting packaging. I'm sure it's prototype or something, but anyway, we got something from MIHOGO. We'll see what they sent us. I'm really excited because I have zero idea of what to expect here. This is a mystery box. It says NX lemon yellow, so obviously it's yellow, I hope. Either way, let's get it out of the box and see what we're working with here. All right, so she is pretty much all together. Now, it's yellow. Really interesting looking. This is not a typical e-bike. And I want to say something. It's big. It's a lot bigger than it seems. This, I don't know if it's hard to see. It's going to be hard to see. You'll get a better idea when I'm on it. But this is a tall, big bike. And it's got 2 batteries. So I'm expecting it to be quite powerful. Let's see. Definitely not the most portable looking thing, even though it does seem to break down and fold down. It's big. It's a big bike. Anyway, fat tires, some 20-inch fat tires, mag wheels. I like that. That's really cool. And seems to have a magnesium rear frame as well. So that's going to help with weight because this thing is massive. The seat, this is the lowest position on the seat, and it's I can barely flat foot. It's putting pressure on me right now. So this is not a short person friendly bike at all. Definitely a taller rider for this one. And let's just see what that means. Couple of things. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. I like that. I like the features. Everything on it seems pretty good. I wish it was a smaller bike, but I'm not going to complain. Let's get both of these batteries in, charged up, and see what this thing does, because I'm excited to kind of feel it out. Suspension, front and rear, well, we'll talk about it. Let's get it going. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to test out the MIHOGO RX 4.0 Sport. This is a really interesting bike, a large folding bike. Don't let this dimensionally fool you. It's a pretty big bike. If you're a full-size rider, recommend. If you're a short rider, look at some other stuff. But this bike is definitely geared towards a big rider. It's got a decent amount of power and quite a few options, including hydraulic brakes, which I love. And let's go ahead. We're going to take it for a little ride. We're going to do a speed test first. Then we're going to take it off-road and see how it does. But I'm kind of surprised. Magnesium rear frame, pretty sweet. Magnesium wheels. So it keeps weight to a somewhat minimum. It's still a pretty heavy bike. The information on the bike says it's a dual battery. Not true. It's a single battery. It comes with 2 batteries, but you can only use one at a time. I guess you can carry the other one if you want. But anyway, let's go ahead, take it for a ride, see what it does top speed, and then we'll take it off-road and see what it does. Okay, GPS loaded up, and we have, as you can see, a full battery. Let's see how she does. I'm just going to use throttle only. We're going to go into the wind, we'll turn around and we'll go with the wind. Here we go. No pedaling. Acceleration is pretty decent. As you can see, we're already getting to 20 miles an hour. Into the wind. Hey, that's pretty good. Right at 20, almost 28 miles an hour into the wind. So now we'll turn around, see what it does with the wind to our back. And a storm. Ooh, we got a storm coming. we're gonna get this review done. All right, here we go. So here's top speed now with the wind to our back. Not much wind, but I'm sure it's gonna account for something. Let's see. So almost 30 miles an hour. I would call it 30. It was actually 29.6 according to GPS. So with a little bit of a breeze, it's a 30 mile an hour bike. I would say split it between the two and you've got a 28 mile an hour bike. So definitely pretty fast as far as these bikes go. That's quite the difference than most of the other e-bikes that we're testing at this price point and power level and so on. So now let's go ahead and take it off-road and see how it does, how it fares with the sand, grass, and terrain. A pretty decently powerful bike considering. All right, so let's see what we got. Here's a tall grass, no problem at all. Some sand, just crunch that up. Okay, not too bad in the soft sand. Off-road is pretty good. The suspension's working quite well. This is a full suspension bike, so kind of expected that. Yeah, definitely off-road capable. As you can see, we're running right around 22 miles per hour all out. So pretty good. Let's see, up the hill, no problem. It's a little clunky in the front end. I can feel the suspension kind of not bottoming out, but actually like overextending. So it could definitely do with a little bit more droop for suspension, but either way, I wouldn't go off. I wouldn't go like motocross riding or anything, but you can definitely go off-road. Here we go. Again, this full suspension is getting a good workout. This is not the easiest terrain, but it's definitely doing it. It's not too bad at all. I'm a 6-foot rider, 175 pounds for reference. There we go. And we made it all the way back to the terrain. Ah, there we go. So yeah, really smooth bike actually. Now I have another set of tires that they sent me that I'm going to try out as well. We'll see if that makes any difference at all. Probably give me a mile an hour or two on the road. But I mean, hey, 30 miles an hour, I'm not going to argue with that. This is a capable bike. And aside from the suspension, it definitely feels pretty strong. This is what I would consider a large rider bike for sure. Feels pretty strong. So there you go. MIHOGO, whatever you want to call it. RX 4.0 Sport. Really cool. So you got your suspension in the rear here. Obviously we've got a tail light there with brake. We have a headlight here. Full display here with a ton of options you can go through. Set up everything you want, including speed limit, wheel size, all that good stuff. So a really cool, feature-rich. I saw Bluetooth there too. There's going to be some Bluetooth compatibility. Cool bike. I mean, really different looking. I will give it that. This is a very out of the ordinary looking bike. Definitely not what you'd expect from your typical Chinese varieties. So seat's pretty comfortable. It's a little tall. Like I said, if you're a tall rider, consider that. That's gonna deter you. And it's got a lot more adjustment too. This thing can go pretty dang tall. If you're a huge rider, you can really get up there in the air and not have to worry about it. Look at that. Jesus. So I'm not. I like to ride really low, actually. I like to put my feet on the ground when I'm riding. Just gives me a little more confidence when I'm going over terrain. So I'll keep it down. But we'll continue to ride this and test it out. So far, I do like what I see. A couple of cool little features too. Look at this little skate wheel. So when you fold it up, it'll actually roll on that skate wheel. They've kind of thought of everything. The only thing, like I said, if I were going to upgrade anything on this, would be the suspension. If they were going to create a higher end model or anything like that, I would definitely consider a little beefier front fork. The rear suspension seems fine. It was holding me no problem, but that front was just kind of overextending and popping on the lock, and it's not adjustable, so nothing we can do there. Anyway, cool bike. Let me know what you guys think. If you're interested, check them out. MIHOGO. I'll put the link in the description, and you can get a fancy magnesium framed and wheel bike of your own. We'll see you in the next one.